my name is Kat, and today I'm going to do my September book haul. Alright, it is the end of September, and this month I ended up getting a grand total of 9 new books. And most of them are actually new releases, which is extra exciting because, you know, they're new and shiny and I want to tell you all about them, so I'm gonna. First up, I have 2 books that you may have already seen in my unboxing video this month. And those are The Darkest Minds and Never Fade by Alexandra Bracken. I already read/owned a copy of The Darkest Minds, but this one is signed to me, so it's specialer. And then Never Fade isn't even out yet, so, you know, specialness abounds. Anyways, if you guys want to know more about The Darkest Minds, I did do a book review on that earlier in the year. You can watch it. And if you want a chance to win my old copy of The Darkest Minds and a signed arc of Never Fade, then just you wait. Cause I am getting pretty close to 30,000 subscribers, and you guys know I like to celebrate these milestones by giving you things. So yeah, these will be included in my next giveaway, so you probably want to subscribe. I'm just saying, just putting that out there. Moving on, let's get into all of these new September releases. Actually, we're gonna start with a book that came out last year, and that is The Isle of Blood by Rick Yancey. Really cheery title there, Rick. This is book 3 in the Monstrumologist series. I already have books 1 and 2, so of course I had to get this one, especially because The Final Descent, book 4, just came out this month. Now I have the entire series and I can just marathon it. And this is just the perfect time of year to marathon a series like this because it is a young adult horror series. So you got monsters and gore and just, tis the season to read about demon innards, yeah! Next up, I have Vicious by Victoria Schwab, writing as V.E. Schwab to kind of differentiate between her young adult books, as this is an adult novel. And this is a standalone fantasy novel that kind of plays around with superhero and supervillain tropes. It's kind of an origin story. It's about 2 college roommates who do experiments on themselves to try to give themselves supernatural abilities. And they succeed if you count what happens to them as success, but they end up becoming rivals, enemies. I'm actually currently reading this book and it is freaking awesome so far, so I can't wait to finish it and see what happens. Next up, I have The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater. This is book 2 in the Raven Cycle Quartet, with the first book being The Raven Boys. I'm not going to talk too much about the plot of this book because, you know, it's in the middle of a series, you gotta start with the first one. But the first one, The Raven Boys, is about a girl named Blue who comes from a family of psychics, even though she has no ability of her own. And she ends up falling in with a group of 4 Raven Boys, who are nicknamed that because they attend a private school and that is like the emblem on their uniform. But these are not your typical wealthy private school Raven Boys. These boys are on a quest. They are searching for an ancient Welsh king hidden in the hills of Virginia. But yeah, I highly recommend book 1 and I'm so excited to read this, which will be happening in the next few days here. Oh yes it will. Next up, I have Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I read and loved Eleanor and Park earlier this year, and I've actually already read this one, and I gotta say I loved it even more. Fangirl is a really sweet, contemporary, coming-of-age story. It's about a girl named Kath who is a huge fangirl of the Simon Snow series, which is kind of like Harry Potter, which, oh my god, made me love it even more. And it's basically just the story of her first year at college and how she kind of becomes her own person, not just defined through her twin sister or through her love of this fandom. This book is just adorable and funny and romantic, and the kind of book that induces random fits of giggling while you're reading it. Like, if you get really emotionally reactive to adorableness, I can't advise reading this in public or else people are gonna think you're crazy. So yeah, if you're into that sort of thing, then this is definitely the book for you. Next up, I have The Chaos of Stars by Kirsten White. This is a standalone fantasy novel about a girl named Isadora who is the more immortal daughter of immortal Egyptian gods. So needless to say, her family is pretty crazy. When Isadora gets a chance to move to San Diego and kind of get away from her family, she takes it. But she quickly learns that distance is not necessarily enough to escape the craziness. This is another book that I've actually already read and I enjoyed it. It's a quick and entertaining read, just about 300 pages. Though I must admit I didn't enjoy this book as much as I enjoyed Kiersten White's previous books, but I shall talk more about that in my wrap-up video. And finally, I have The Coldest Girl in Coldtown by Holly Black. I believe in my September TBR I said this was the first book in a series, and that is actually incorrect. This is a standalone currently. I have heard that Holly Black might write a sequel to it in the future, but that is not confirmed, so I'm calling it a standalone. Though, actually, this novel is based off of a short story that Holly wrote in the Poison Eaters anthology, so there's more in this world. But anyways, in the world of this novel, places called Coldtowns exist. And Coldtowns are basically quarantined cities in which humans and vampires live together. But, you know, being quarantined, once you go into Coldtown, you are not allowed to leave. And in this book, the main character, well, she's going to Coldtown, and we're just gonna have to see what happens. This is another book that I haven't read yet, but I will be reading in the next few days here, and I'm really excited about it. Alright, there you have it! Those are all the books that I got in September, and that is it for this haul. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great night, and I will have another video soon, so I will see you then. Goodbye! You guys like how I practice? So, you know, subscribe. Don't wink, that's so creepy. When is winking not creepy? Next up, I have Vicious by Isadora, who is the mortal daughter of immortal Egyptian derpers. Yes, that is what she is. A derpa derpa der. No, that's what I am. Derp derpa der. Talk about this book!